Please, everything work. I need something to work right today.
One more time, one more time. Launch it!
Here's an example of not what to do. Pass in a blind curve.
Zach is broke down at the main intersection. He blew the main hydraulic line on the sprayer. The hydraulic fluid's everywhere. So.
Hey, I'm the guy that needs to fix that way up there. Let me through. There's some days I really question my choice of career. Well, we got about a ½ inch of rain last night. Not near as bad as expected, but we're going to be out of the field today, probably at least part of tomorrow, if not all day tomorrow too. So we're going to take this time to try and do some diagnosing on our hydraulic problems. All right, right now with our Delta Force and alternator engaged, we're showing supply pressure of 2,500 PSI, which is great. That's what we like to see. Let's engage the fan, see if that drops. It dropped by about 100 PSI, but that's not what we've been seeing out in the field. We've been seeing anywhere from 16 to 1900 in the field. It's been running for about 10 minutes, so I would expect the oil to be up to operating temperature, but maybe it's not quite as warm as it needs to be to get the pressure to drop. All right, now we're going to put our mechanical gauge on the ear and see what it reads. A brand new crimp I just put on there. Well, that ain't crimped on very good. Well, looks like I'm heading to town. All right, we got our pressure gauge rigged up on our remote here. And we're going to test the pressure on what we believe to be a good valve to get a baseline reading. All right, rev the tractor up to about 1500. All right, push down on the blue. That's reading well over 3,000 PSI there. All right, so now we'll take this. Now we know that a good remote should be putting out over 3,000 PSI. We'll test out these others and see what they're putting out. All right, back out. Yeah, that was not pegging over as far. Well, testing the port that my Delta Force is on. Took the end off to put in my pressure gauge. I don't know if you can see that inside. Piece of rubber stuck up in there. This right here came out of this. How I got there, I've got no idea. It's like a pretty big piece of O-ring. All right, let's see if our pressure came up on this. It was reading, what, 2,200 PSI or so, I think. Now we got 2,800 PSI. That's good right there. All right, reading about 2,700 on the monitor, reading about 2,700 on the gauge. I think we got this problem figured out, all because of a little freaking piece of rubber in the return side just kind of choking off low. The other one, I think the problem is in the actual valve itself. I don't know if it's electronic or mechanical. Probably going to get a tech out to do a little diagnosing on that, but we can swap it back around to one that was working good and we can make it through planting. My main concern was this Delta Force because it really needs to be working properly. So I guess that's about all we can do until it. Everything's ready to go. I was hoping to be planting first thing this morning, but yesterday the guy spreading my chicken litter had problems with his truck. He thinks his satellite receiver went down and his truck will not run and his truck will not spread unless he's got GPS. So he had a receiver ordered and it was supposed to come in today, and he just called me and UPS just ran. He's got the receiver in his hand, so we're gonna run over to the field and make sure he's able to run, because I'm caught up to him and I can't do any planting until he gets the chicken litter spread. So let's keep our fingers crossed that the receiver fixes the problem and we can get back to planting corn, because we got rain coming in less than 48 hours and I sure would like to get this corn done. All right, we've been over here all afternoon trying to get this GPS working. The new receiver didn't work because it's not configured right, but we're able to trick it into running into manual mode, so I had to do it old school style. So he's spreading. It's late in the afternoon. We still gonna go load up that planter and get some seed in the ground this afternoon anyways. Here's an example of not what to do. Pass in a blind curve. If that truck right there had been just a few seconds earlier, that could have been an ugly deal. Just being impatient for a few extra seconds could make you miss the appointment for the rest of your short life. Please, everything work. I need something to work right today. Just one thing. And I prefer it to be the planter. We're finally putting seed back in the ground about 10 hours later than what I was wanting to put seed in the ground, but it's better to be late than never. And there was serious questions and multiple times a day whether that was going to happen or not. I'll tell you the whole story of what we faced with that litter spreader today trying to get it to work, but it would take up about half the video. Just suffice to say that one problem after another finally popped up. But you work at something long enough, you can usually make it work. And it's not working like it was designed to work, but it's spreading litter and it's spreading it accurately by just working around a few issues, and we're able to get the job done. But I sure was about this close to throwing in the towel multiple times a day and just going to plant beans. But anyway, our new goal for today is we got a 30-acre farm here on Dr. Edwards. We're going to get that done. And the reason I'm so dead set on getting that done today, because several days ago, when everything was going to go according to plan like I thought it was, I scheduled University of Tennessee and Pioneer to put in test plots tomorrow morning on the next farm that we're going to, the last farm we got to plant corn. And my plan was I was going to start early this morning and get finished planting all of our corn except for the test plots, and that was going to be the last thing we had to do. Planter was going to be pretty much empty of seed, going to be real easy to clean out, do the test plot, get that done, get back to the shop, get everything changed over to soybeans, and get started planting soybeans like tomorrow afternoon. That was the plan. Now, but since it's so hard getting two different groups scheduled to be out at the same place at the same time when they've got other commitments, we're still going to plant our test plots tomorrow morning, but I want to get this farm planted, and we only put enough seed in to get this farm done and get the plots laid off on the next farm before. So we're going to get that done tonight, so our planter will still be about empty, and get test plots planted first thing tomorrow morning, and then finish up on the rest of our corn tomorrow. That's the new plan. It's probably going to change before it's all said and done though. Why is that? Well, because it's Griggs Farms. That's just the way we roll. Ain't nothing ever goes according to plan. Oh, and on another note, looked at our wheat today. Some of our wheat is ready to be sprayed. We've got potentially a week's worth of rain coming up. Could have pretty bad disease pressure coming in with that rain, and I've got a decision to make on how much of our wheat we spray before the rain. Some of it's not quite ready to be sprayed. Some of it's real close to being ready to be sprayed. Ideally, we'd probably spray it all Monday or Tuesday, but by then it might be too late, it might be too muddy, rains every day. So we've got the decision to make on how much of our wheat to spray. And not only that, we've got burn down to spray in front of the planter, the rest of the corn, potentially soybeans if I can get to some soybeans. So right now I need 2 spraying crews, but I've only got 1. So right now I'm frazzled. I really don't know which way to turn. It seems like everything has to be done right now. And just like every spring, it feels like I'm playing Russian roulette with Mother Nature, and somehow she always seems to have the upper hand. But anyway, I'll let you know tomorrow kind of what I decided, right or wrong. Alright guys, well that's it for today. It's been a long day, but we managed to get what we wanted done. Hopefully tomorrow will be a little bit smoother and won't have near as many problems to deal with, and we can get this corn planting wrapped up. Well guys, I'm gonna wish you good night, and I will see y'all back here in the morning. You see all these side-by-sides and vacuums out here? That's right, it's test plot time.
Well, as you can see, it is plot day here. We've got a whole crew out. Hopefully it is the last day of corn planting. Ernie will be out here later to spread the chicken poop because he had a hydraulic hose bust on him yesterday. That's the price he pays for being around us. After I spray this, Zach and I are gonna spray wheat, so it's gonna be a long day, but we're gonna get it done. Speaking of wheat, look at that. Isn't that beautiful?
I was going here and put in my rate because we're doing test plots. We want everything to be consistent, so we're going to do a flat rate of 29,000 seeds per acre instead of prescription because we don't want population to be a variable in the plots. All right, I think we're set up.
In the city, y'all. Dead. One more time. Launch it. It's not gonna work. He tried. He really did.
All right, we finally got the plots out of the way, all 28 of them. If you're wondering why we do that, we test certain varieties of different crops to find out what the best performers are. And we really like to do them because we're doing it on our land under our management practices, so it gives us very insightful data about which varieties we need to pick to plant next year that could potentially give us the most profit, because each variety has its own different characteristics, you know, whether it be drought tolerance, growth pattern, you know, yield potential, the type of soil it likes to be planted on, whatnot. There's just a lot of different things that go into choosing a variety, and once we harvest these plots, that data will be invaluable to making sure that we make good sound choices on what we plant next year. Other good news, guy spreading my chicken litter, he is back going. He got his GPS all fixed, so he's running full tilt, trying to get in front of me. So we've had to deal with a bunch of frustrations here lately, it seems like. It took us several days. I think we finally got all the bugs worked out of our stuff and other people's stuff. And going back to that decision I was telling you about yesterday about what we were going to have to do, after having Zach and Kelly check my earliest planted wheat fields yesterday, I'm going to have them spray, I think it's around 200 acres of wheat with a fungicide after Kelly gets done burning down all of this cotton ground. That's about all that's ready. The rest of it needs another few days before it gets a fungicide, so we'll be targeting that early next week. Hopefully we don't get a bunch of rain or several days in a row that knocks us out of putting it out. But the fungicide would still be effective if we put it out now, but as much as fungicide costs, I don't think it would be as effective. So we're gonna hold off on a little over half of our acres for another few days, try and let it mature a little bit more, because you really need to hit the wheat with a fungicide at Feekes 10.5.1 stage, which is when it starts flowering. And right now my latest planted wheat's got about 25 to 50% of the heads just starting to emerge from the boot. So really need to get that fungicide down in the heads real good, and if they're still in the boot, you're not going to get it you're not going to get the fungicide down into the head. So I got that solution worked out. The only problem left we got is we still got 92 acres of corn to plant. Get it done today, hopefully without any problems. Get back to the shop tonight, get our planter swapped over to plant beans, and be ready to start planting what few full season soybeans we're going to have first thing tomorrow morning. About a week and a half later than what I was wanting to plant them, but you know what, it is what it is this year. And I know we're ruining a lot of folks' weekends today. It's Friday afternoon, and you know, we're right here in the city limits of Jackson, got several subdivisions all around us, and we're having about 175 tons of chicken litter spread right here alongside these subdivisions. Wonder how many complaints we're going to get. Oh well, I mean, the trendy thing is now is to holler you want everything organic. I mean, how do you think organic crops are produced? How they're fertilized? With manure. Unfortunately, that's a problem we've seen getting worse and worse every year. Everybody wants agriculture. Everybody wants agricultural produced in a sustainable way. They just don't want it produced in their backyard. But the way the populations are growing, the way the cities are spreading, I mean, inevitably, somebody's going to have agriculture in their backyard. But fortunately for the smell, you know, we're supposed to get rain tomorrow night, so that should get this chicken litter incorporated in the ground and get rid of the smell. They only got to put up with it for, you know, 24 to 36 hours or so.
The other awesome benefits of farming here in the city is all the trash. And I'm about to go pick that up because Matt will probably wrap that up. Yeah, this would definitely wrap up in the planter, so I'm gonna, and yeah, I'm using gloves because I don't know. This looks like sheeting from this house that burned over there. Yeah, number one problem is people driving through your fields with ATVs and trash. All right, that is it for corn burn down. I'm now swapping out with Zach, and we are going to triple rinse the sprayer, make sure all the paraquat's out of here, and then we are gonna go over and do wheat.
Well, crap, there went a good day. Zach just hollered me on the radio, and he just had a hydraulic line on the sprayer blow, the one that actually drives the wheel motors, right as he was crossing Highway 45, which is a very busy 4-lane highway right here in the heart of Jackson. So let's go see what the heck we can do about this.
Zach is broke down at the main intersection, and I'm gonna have to take this water truck to back everybody from going around him because he's literally stuck. He blew the main hydraulic line on the sprayer. Also, it's the hydraulic fluids everywhere, so we're pretty sure the cops are gonna get on to us about it. So I'm headed up there right now.
Well, apparently the sprayer will not let him move. It's throwing a code that he's dumped all the oil, which he probably has, even though you'd think he'd have enough just to move over the side of the road. So apparently he's stuck in the intersection at the red light, and I mean we literally can't move the sprayer. So told him to call the police to come out there and flag traffic and stuff. No point in me just looking at it. I'm going back to the shop to get the service truck and get oil and race back out here as quickly as I can. And then we got to take the hose off, and then we got to take it to town, get another one made, then got to put it on. So I mean, of all places for it to blow, it had to be there. Could not happen out in the middle of the field. Could not just happen on the country road. Had to happen on the intersection of a main 4-lane highway going through the 6th largest city in Tennessee. Just another typical day on our farm. Oh great, look at this traffic jam. Hey, I'm the guy that needs to fix that way up there. Let me through. What a cluster. Good Lord, people, come on. Come on, people, jeez. I swear, I'm gonna hit somebody.
Hazmat team, look at this. This is insane. This is crazy. Oh my God, help us.
There she is, right there.
Freaking day. Jeff said he'll run it. Okay.
All right. I'll run it. We're probably gonna need at least 20 gallons of 10W30, because all I was able to bring was 5 gallons, all the containers we got.
You want oil, not hydraulic?
Yeah, it takes regular engine oil, 10W30.
How many? 5 gallons? 10.
No, probably 20.
20 gallons of 10W30.
Probably so, just to be on the safe side. Huh?
Cheap.
Yeah, cheap 10W30.
Hey, Matt.
Hey, Scott, Jeff's on his way with that line. I also need about 20 gallons of 10W30 oil to go back in my sprayer too, if you got it.
Okay. All right, I'll get it all waited for you, sir.
All right, appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.
I'm sorry, boss.
Ain't your fault. You take a 4-year-old sprayer with hydraulic hoses last just a little bit longer than what they did.
Why couldn't it have happened when I pulled out of the field? Right there.
Or right in the field. We got quite a task force here. And now they've also just informed me that either I can call hazmat to clean up the oil on the road, or they can call a hazmat team. Either way, I'm gonna have to pay for it. See if I can work something out with them. Our cleanup is now complete. Who needs hazmat? Well, we got the sprayer fixed, about ready to move out. I want to give a shout out to the fire department here in Jackson, also the police department. But the police department is now elected because there's been a rash of shootings apparently this afternoon. But I want to give a shout out to the fire department for sticking out here, keeping us safe from getting hit by traffic and helping us get this cleaned up. So big props to them. Finally, on 3.5, 4 hours later, the intersection has been cleared. There are some days I really question my choice of career. Well, I gotta say, the Southern hospitality was in full force today. All those taps on the horn and those friendly one-finger waves really warmed my heart. Just want to let y'all know. Now, in all seriousness, there wasn't too many upset people. I mean, there was a few birds flying out there, and there was some honking of the horn, but for the most part, it was just friendly honking. And to the Jackson Fire Department and Jackson Police Department, thanks a whole lot, because without y'all there blocking traffic, keeping us safe while we got the sprayer fixed, it really could have been a bad deal. Anything I can do for y'all in the future, help y'all, please don't hesitate to call. And for the hazmat unit that allowed me to clean up our own mess rather than forcing me to have professionals do it and pay for it, thank you too. All right, a whopping 35 acres done today, only 75 more to go. It is now 5:46. It's gonna be a late night if we're gonna get this done today. Don't know if I got enough in the tank to do it. We shall see though. Not gonna get anything plain and sitting here flapping my gums.